And welcome back to Ask the Lawyer. I'm your host, Mike Berger, here to answer your legal questions today. Personal injury attorneys Manuel Green and Brent Freefield from the Rad Law Firm. Just call the number that you see on the screen. It's 1-888-887-9521, or email your question to askthelawyer@radlawfirm.com. Phone lines are wide open, so if you don't get through right away, keep trying. Patty from Fort Worth joins us. Patty?
Yes, I had a dog bite me and was sent to the emergency room. And I was wondering if I could actually sue the person. It's within the city limits, and there is a leash law. So I was just wondering, what do I do to file a suit?
Mike, I'll be glad to
Brent.
take that one.
Sure.
We, at the firm, we handle all kinds of personal injury cases. This dog bite scenario is one that we certainly would be able to help her with. The most important thing is that we, determine who the owner of the dog is. We do some investigation to see if there was some prior incidents involving that dog. But typically, homeowners insurance will cover a claim like that, and we can get her the medical care that she needs, lost wages if there is such a claim to be made, and we have her call our firm, and we'd be glad to help her out.
Okay, sounds good. Pretty simple answer to that question. All right, holding now, Kathy from Dallas. Kathy, go ahead.
Good afternoon. I'm calling about a house I purchased on May the 4th and had been looking many years for a house. Found out 3 days later, after never even moving into the house, doing some minor contracting work done, the house is contaminated with mold. I had the mold inspector come out, and the levels in this house are just 11 times, 12 times, 15 times over the normal limits. I have a kidney and a pancreas transplant. They will be 19 years old in October. I called my transplant people, they gave them the report, and they said, you cannot live in that house. It's pathogenic for you. You cannot live in that house. So I've been trying to find out if I have any legal rights to not purchase that house. I notified the house people, the people that closed the house, the funding people, Chase Bank, and have a lawyer that I've contacted, but I don't know that it's worth losing every single penny that I've ever owned to try to keep this house. Should I fight it or should I walk away?
Well, it seems to me on that when that house is inspected, that certainly should have been discovered. But
absolutely.
Go ahead.
Right. This is, again, probably a real estate law question, but I'm going to help her out just a little bit. When you get into real estate transaction, there should be some disclosures, especially some initial disclosures, sure. And if it's not listed, that could be seen as a breach of contract, right? And I think the most important thing is to get back in touch with the seller, see if there's some way she can get out of that contract. Give us an email. I can point her in the right direction. If she shoots me an email, I can get her in touch with a lawyer that handles more real estate transactions. But the goal there would be to get out of that house, absolutely, if it's
Sure.
hurting her health, and to try to back out of that deal because it doesn't look like she got a fair deal on that contract.
And I would think, and I'm going to assume something here, and we know what that word does to all of us, but if you're dealing with a reputable real estate firm, they're going to say, whoa, this is not right, and they're going to refund your money without too much of a hassle, wouldn't you say?
Well, and it comes back to the contract and whether or not we can get out of that contract, and if she entered into the contract with something that she didn't know about, then she didn't come to the table knowing everything, and,
sure.
And maybe a lawyer can help her to get back out of that.
Very good, thank you. We have another question now from Pam in Grapevine. Hello, Pam.
Yes, I got injured in California in an accident, and I'm back home now, and the driver that hit me, the person that was driving his vehicle was not insured, and I am claiming bodily injuries. I just wanted to know if I should hire a lawyer at all in Texas that would represent the accident in California.
Mike, I'll take this one as well. We represent people all over the country. It doesn't matter if the accident happened in Texas or in California. Generally, with these insurance claims, if we can get a hold of an insurance company, and in this case, obviously, if the defendant driver, the at-fault driver, didn't have insurance, we'd be looking at first party, which is, again, uninsured motorist.
Sure.
But we can facilitate the claim from Dallas, regardless if the accident happened in California. We deal with insurance companies in California all the time. I actually recommend to people, hire a lawyer where you live, because then you can stop by, say hello, we can manage your medical care. We can do all kinds of things if you live in that city as opposed to trying to hire a lawyer in California.
Sure, and then they have to talk to you, you have to talk to the attorney has to talk to the insurance company, and it gets to be a long, drawn-out process.
Absolutely.
Phone lines are open. If you don't get through right away, please keep trying. Melissa from Plano. Go ahead, Melissa.
in a car accident last Thursday at an intersection where a man making a left turn failed to yield and slammed into me. I filed a claim with his insurance company, and they're saying there's a dispute because their policyholder is refusing, saying he didn't hit me. So what are my options?
I'll be glad to
Go
answer
ahead.
that,
Sure,
Mike. The first thing we'd want to do is see if the police report was favorable to her. We'd do some investigation, see if there was any witnesses involved. Typically, when there is a shouting match, as they say, between someone who's making a claim and the other driver, part of our job is to make sure that we place the responsibility on the driver that caused the accident.
One quick question, and this is kind of a personal thing, but a friend of mine was hit at an intersection. Police didn't even come out. They reported it to the police, but the police said, well, we weren't there, we didn't see it, we don't know what really went on, so we're not going to write a report on it. Does that happen a lot? Should that happen?
It happens, and we certainly would prefer if we have a police report to rely on, but we always tell our folks if they gather the information at the scene, perhaps there's an eyewitness, that will get us where we need to go.
So the smart thing, if that ever happens to you, if there's anybody around, talk to them. Get some names, phone numbers, things like that.
Absolutely.
Okay. We're going to take a short break again and return. Thanks for the great questions, by the way. If you have questions, feel free to call us at 1-888-887-9521 or email your question to askthelawyer@radlawfirm.com. We'll be right back.